represent to be a part of us when we introduce the two tours de force that are about to take the stage. We can't do this without all of us, all hands on deck.
It takes a village.
Takes a village, and right now we're the only villagers. Like, here come the chairs. Poor chairs that don't know what's going to hit them. Right now they're thinking, oh, we're just chairs. We'll probably say, oh, those chairs are so naive. Ladies and gentlemen, it's with great pleasure that for the first time in 2 years, I get to say, Kim Rhodes and Briana Buckmaster.
God, I love a giggling man's. Why do they sell merch? That is a giggling man's. Somebody get on that. You just like tell it a joke and it goes. Hello, Richard Spade Jr.
Hi.
Do you have to do that every single fucking time?
No, we usually let him go out the front. I'm not sure what he's doing. I think Mike's afraid of you.
Don't hurt
And you
yourself.
should be goddamn. Get out of here,
I
moron!
feel like Borja was afraid. I feel like he stuck out the back, hoping you wouldn't notice. Ladies and gentlemen!
I love you.
There you go.
I missed you.
Not you.
I missed you so much.
We're back.
Oh, Las Vegas. Who is from Las Vegas? Why am I so dehydrated? And I did not have a stitch of alcohol.
You're in a desert.
Is it just like this all the time? Do you get used to it? Awesome. Oh man. Yeah, it
Found
is.
one.
What? A what? A
That
low?
is really unusual for they're not.
Yeah, that's telling. For the band to actually drink water?
Talk amongst yourselves.
Fucking dry,
Come on.
eh? It's fucking dry, eh? Even Canada, eh? Yeah, so, so two people walking to a bar, and
Literally, she threw the guitar like, woo!
who threw the guitar?
No, was like, is there water somewhere?
Yeah, this one's been over.
No, it hasn't.
No, it hasn't. You're right. Hi, everyone.
Who's at a creation convention for their first time?
Shit, that is awesome. Welcome. And I'm so sorry.
No, you're
No,
not.
I'm not. You signed up for this shit.
Don't be. There's a disclaimer out there.
Are there any children in the audience? Who cares?
We need to have a word with your parents.
Yes, you will learn some words today. You will learn probably a lot about the female anatomy. And you are welcome. God damn it.
And comfy shoes.
Comfy shoes.
Look,
Yeah.
it's come to this. That was
Love it.
Yeah, I
And
don't.
fuzzy socks too.
Fuzzy sock and a lot of hair. I have hair now.
Kim is growing out her hair.
I was backstage. You have a lot of hair and you're wearing cloth. I was like, look, I'm just letting the last vestiges of trying to be mean and scary float out the window. I am a fucking Muppet and I own it.
I just tried to drink water out of my microphone.
It's going very well.
Soon you're going to be entering tomato growing competitions. I feel that for you.
With any luck.
Oh my god. You'll fucking win.
I won't do it competitively. No, I won't do it competitively, but I will enjoy knowing that I would win had I been doing it competitively. Like I do everything. Thank you! You feel me, don't you? Like, no, I'm not competing because I kicked their ass.
All right, I guess we could answer some questions.
I think we probably should.
Yeah.
There's people that seem to want to ask some.
What side do you want to go on?
I don't know, that side's longer. Let's start over there.
Hi!
Hi, thank you, Kim, for being our TikTok mom. First of all.
Thank you for being my TikTok baby.
The question I want to ask both of you is, what is one word or phrase to tell yourself every day when it feels like the weight of the world is on your shoulders?
One word or phrase.
Oh.
Cool. Nice and light, hey?
Yeah.
For the first question. All right. Since we're going there, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the motherfucking difference.
Thy will, not mine, be done, I guess.
That's hard to be. I'm going to add to that. Be sure to double check that you've turned the stove off before you leave the house.
Yeah.
Every day.
That's the footwork.
Every day.
That's the footwork.
Okay.
I mean, because you specify it every day, and I'm like, I don't know if I tell myself everything every day. What do I tell myself every day?
I think I don't actually have a mantra, but I do talk. I actually went to get a massage this morning, and I was sitting in the steam room. I know, bougie, right? And I was like, I'm sitting there, and I'm by myself, I'm like, okay, now is a good time to just talk to yourself out loud. We don't talk to ourselves out loud enough, do we? And yet we say that. Oh, yes. Sorry, disclaimer. But I think it's really important because we sure talk to ourselves a lot in our heads. And I think it serves us more to talk to ourselves out loud. So I'm trying to get more in the practice of talking to myself positively out loud. And I think it's good for everybody to create mantras, and they don't have to be forever, and they could just be for the day. But mine certainly change as to the circumstances that I'm experiencing. But I think it's an important and challenging muscle to build, to be able to say nice things to yourself every day.
Yep. I had a conversation with someone recently, and we were talking about the negative self-talk. The words, I'm stupid, or I shouldn't have said that, and I asked my friend about their relationship with truth. I said, is that true? They said, well, probably. They said, I said something and everybody thought I was stupid. Is that true? I mean, probably. No. Is that true? No. So why do I choose to lie to myself in my own voice? So that's something that I say every day when the weight of the world gets to me. And the voice inside my head uses the world as an excuse to talk smack about me. I say, you're a fucking failure and you should be better. Is that true? No. And then I say, okay, little voice, well, I know you needed to be heard, but I don't need to believe you. It's okay. You can move along. I get to love my own heart. So. Thank you.
Sometimes I find, just to add to that, it can be hard to go from I'm an asshole to I'm amazing. So a practice that I've talked about with some members of the Joan Club, if any of you are here, is that we talked about what would it be if we said, what would happen if it's not true? Instead of going, it's not true, sometimes it's easier for our brain to be curious about the possibility of it not being true. So if you find it challenging to go from I'm stupid to I'm smart, try going from I'm stupid to what if I'm not stupid? Or what if I am smart? And just kind of ruminate on that. Sometimes that can be a little jumping stone. Thank you so much. Hi!
Hello. First, can I give a big shout out to these lovely humans
over here who are signing.
Yes, thank you.
And also, my question is for Kim. Have you booped any pugs lately?
This is a PJ party joke. I'm not sure. Do you want to explain
Should
it?
we
or-
share it or should we keep it?
Keep it.
Then the rest of you don't get to know what the hell she's
You have to
talking
come
about.
to PJ party.
No, I have not moved any pugs recently because they aren't able to give consent, and consent is important. But I still think the phrase is really fucking funny.
Do not bring children to the PJ party. Just kidding. Do what you want. Just be aware you have been warned.
This is
And
tame.
this is tame. Yeah. Hello.
Hi. So the last time I saw both of you on stage, you guys actually had Rachel Miner and Ruth Connell. And I had gone into a little bit of a spill about how much I love Rachel, but my question had actually been for Kim. And you guys' reaction was just so stunning. So now I'd like to say, Kim, I adore you. Love you both. But can y'all tell me a Rachel Miner story?
Yes, I can. Okay, so Briana Buckmaster's birthday in Chicago. How many years ago was it? Oh my god. Okay, so one of Rachel's greatest fears that we don't like, it's a fear, is that she will be a burden to people. Sometimes she goes out of her way to not join the rest of us because she feels like, oh, I can't. And she is such a beam of funny, perfect pixie light that it's impossible for her to be a burden that is greater than her presence offers. So I'm like, fucking come with us, we're going out for Brianna's birthday. And she's like, okay, it's close. It's close. We can walk there, and she's gonna scoot there, right? She's like, okay, are you sure? I'm like, it's okay. We get halfway there, because forward and backward are equal, and her scooter runs out of batteries. And we need to push her. And she's just like, she's doing this thing where you can tell she's mortified but laughing. And I'll be honest with you, pushing that fucking scooter saved the evening. It made us all just like laugh and realize what's important and come, and she fucking, even when she was a quote unquote burden, she was saving our asses and our hearts, and that's Rachel Miner.
I have nothing to add. I feel like I messaged her recently, sharing, I think, which is a universal feeling that she is deeply missed at these conventions. Even you mentioning her is just like, "Mwah." Like her presence is like none other. She is a very special fucking person. And as Kim said, like just having her around really does change the dynamic of everything. So she is deeply missed. Thank you so much for bringing that to our attention. Hello.
Hi, besties. I hope this is not too much to ask, but I was just wondering if you could please say something to your Ukrainian fans, and also maybe to the Belarusian and the Russian fans who are not supporting the war.
We love you. I can't even sit here I'm sitting here in Las Vegas on stage talking to a bunch of people with a microphone, and there's intense, awful things going on in the world, and that is such a strange feeling. I feel like there's nothing I can say that will ever be enough. And I'm grateful to everybody who is strong enough to stand up for the people who need it. All I wish every day is that there can be some strength that brings everybody together as opposed to driving everybody apart.
I'm so sorry that there are mothers who will never hold their children again. I am so sorry that there is not enough love to make you feel safe again. And I swear I will do everything I am humanly able to do to make sure that the pain all of you are experiencing is never repeated again. I'm so sorry.
Hello.
Hi, I was just gonna give you a minute, I'm sorry.
Thank you, it's okay.
Don't be sorry.
I'm nimble, it's all right. Look, there's something important I've learned. Just because I'm uncomfortable doesn't mean I'm in distress. I'm allowed to have feelings. I just had some
And also, let's normalize the ability to have an emotion that is sadness or grief, and also have an emotion that is joy and silliness, and recognize that humans are intensely complex, and we have the ability to hold it all. And we have the ability to hold it all for all of you. And so do not ever be sorry for feeling sadness or feeling joy in this room. We are here for every inch of it. Okay? Yeah.
Sorry, I'm really nervous. I was just wondering, like, if you had any next projects that you're working on, or if there are any. Like,
Yes. Okay, so here's the problem. Right now, if you're teaching a lesson, you basically get a horse that's available at the time of the lesson as opposed to a horse that's available with the level of student. So we're trying to be much more... You weren't talking about me teaching at the barn, were you? Then not really. I teach at the barn now.
You did a thing.
I did a thing.
From your house?
I did. I shot a movie called Yoked, Y-O-K-E-D. And I shot it from my house. It was the easiest thing, and that's why I forgot about it. But hopefully the movie will be out at some point, and you will see me on the other end of the lead character's phone, because I'm playing her mother.
I am currently the momager to my daughter Valentina, who has started working in voice work. The director who directed Chip and Potato messaged me because she was working on, I guess I can't say these names of these cartoons, but I was like, oh yeah, I signed NDAs for those.
This counts. It won't go anywhere.
A cartoon that many youngsters know and love, very young youngsters. They had a character who was Latina, and the director was very important to her that they use culturally appropriate actors, and Valentina is Mexican. So she got to speak Spanish in it, and she was very excited. And then now she's been working ever since. So, but it's so great because I got to go. I got to take her to open her first bank account. And she's seven. But it's so important. Like, I grew up in a family that never ever had enough money. We searched couch cushions for money. And money was a shameful, awful, fearful thing in our family, and it's not in mine. In my family, we teach Valentina what it means. We don't use it in a way that we instill her. She has to save every penny. We go, no, money is fluid. Money is like energy. You spend it, but you got to spend it mindfully. And if you want something, you get to use that. But if you want something more, you have to work harder. Anyway, it's been really kind of fun. It's hysterical because it's a lot more work. Because I do voice work as well. It's a lot more work too than I have to do auditions for her, but I have to direct her and edit her and everything. But it's so exciting to see her because she has no attachment to it. She doesn't give a shit. She's like, this is fun, and when it stopped being fun, and then she's like, okay, I'm done. That's great. And then I filmed something last year that I forget about all the time because it hasn't come out yet, but it should come out next month. And that's all I can say. Thank you, whoever you are, wherever you are. Oh, there you are. Okay. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Riley.
Hi, Riley.
And I actually can do the
Splits.
No, I can do your Minnesota accent.
Oh yeah, let's hear it.
Oh yeah, you bet, yeah.
Hi.
Where it came from, and I just did one in, and I was like, oh, what do you know?
Are you from the Midwest?
I'm originally from far western Kentucky.
That's South, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I know. Keep reading. Go
My
ahead.
question is for both of you, and by the way, love you in pretty much everything I've seen you in, especially Zach and Cody, Kim. What was it like when you guys met for the very first time?
Tell a story, tell a story.
This is a good story.
Tell a story,
Very
tell a
good
story.
story. Okay,
Should
so.
we do the setup first?
Yeah.
The setup before the meeting? Like, what did we think of each?
Sure, yeah, go for it.
Yeah. You want me to start?
Go first.
Okay, so I started, my thing was everybody's telling me about Briana. Everybody's telling me about Briana. Remember,
I had done one episode before.
she'd done one episode.
Well, let me prep this. When I did that episode, Phil Segretia, who's the director, and he's also was the EP on Supernatural, said, when I was shooting, he was like, there's another female sheriff on the show, and I think it would be funny if we did an episode where, like, you two met at, like, I don't know, like a fucking sheriff's convention or something. And then I remember Brad Creaser, this is my very first episode, Brad Creaser, who is camera AOP, he said, oh, that sounds like a spin-off. That was my first episode. Anyway, no, it's great because it did come to a spin-off until Dum Dums decided it didn't. Anyway.
So this is a morality tale, and in all morality tales, you need the who not to be, and the force of good who ultimately wins. Alright, so this is back in the times when there's only one female that shows up at a convention at a time, like the whole convention.
Like a supernatural.
Supernatural convention, you just had one girl a weekend. And I had done a few episodes, and I was surprised I was still alive. And then everybody said, oh, Kim, you're gonna get to meet Briana. Okay, you're gonna love her. She is so pretty. She is so funny. She's about 15 years younger than you are. We're gonna have her on the conventions. I hear she can sing really well. She's awesome. I hate her.
Meanwhile, while she's feeling these feelings, I know about Kim Rhodes. I'm being told, unbeknownst to her, the exact same things. Kim is so awesome, except what I did is I went, this is, you and I have different trauma responses. I am a former overfunctioner, which means that I, in order to feel comfortable, will work harder to make people like me. I know, strange, right? So Kim, I was like so excited. I looked up all of her episodes. I looked up what she used to do. I didn't know shit about Sweet Life, right? I was just like, oh, and I looked her up on Twitter. And anyway, so I was very, very excited to meet her because she also was like, everybody loved her and she seemed like really funny on Twitter. So we roll up to where
The
like
lodge, the Swiss lodge.
in the middle of nowhere, right? And I'm very new to film television at the time. And I was just so excited and nervous to meet her. And so I'm getting driven up to set from Circus, where our trailers are. I'm driven up to set in like a van. And then here's the lodge. Kim's in the lodge. So I was outside. She was outside. She was just outside the door of the lodge. If you guys know the scene I'm talking about, you'll laugh. So she's outside just the door of the lodge, just with like a suitcase, right? She's by herself. So I, of course, roll down the window of the van and I go, Kim! Hi! It's Briana! Hi, it's so good to meet you! Ah! How are you? And they're in the middle of shooting this.
And then we hear,
But Kim is very sweet. She went,
so then fast forward to that day, and 3 o'clock hits. And then 3 o'clock, because they've got it set, and we're like, obviously there's no denying the charm of this human being. And I was like, all right, I guess you gotta pass the baton to someone, and I'm glad it's going to this beautiful human being. And 3 o'clock hits, and they've got like a little tray, and 3 o'clock, Briana goes, 3 o'clock, wanna go get some cookies? I was like, I love her.
cookies and coffee. Then we got literally
Cookies and coffee.
cookies and coffee every single day.
Cookies and coffee.
Because I think we were shooting every day that episode. And then there was another thing that happened. I remember, Kim, you came to my trailer because you were like, "They're gonna want you to do conventions. Let me come and tell you because you're gonna need to know about it." So she came and had lunch in my trailer one day and was like, "You do this, and then the guys do this, and then there's a band, and blah blah blah." And I said, "And then we'll both be there." And you're like, "No. They do one woman at a time. One woman at a time. They don't have two women at the conventions the same weekend." I said, "No, well maybe they'll put us on stage together." And Kim was like, "No, God, no. And I was like, "Fuck that!"
I mean, honestly, we had the same conversation about the pilot. No. Fuck that! And then it happened. So again, as in
And with
all
the
morality tales, not to do or to do. There you go.
It's the law of polarity, man. You gotta have both. It wouldn't work if both of us were like, whee! You gotta have somebody going, "Briana, there's glass." Watch your footing. It's great. It's great. We gotta have a yin and yang. We're perfect. We're perfect. Great question.
I'm a little nervous. I'm gonna try not to babble because that's what I do.
Do what you do, baby.
You're both adorably lovely, and this feels like therapy somehow, which I probably need. My question is actually for Kim. I love you. You have a special place in my heart with my daughter and I. When she was growing up, we watched We Life together, and I wish that you were my mom because you're amazing. And obviously, we all love you on the show, on Supernatural because you're delightful. But my question is actually about a character that maybe we didn't all like as much.
Oh, yes, bring it, yes!
I know.
Criminal Minds. And I want you to know how painful it was to watch. I'm like, oh my God, I love her. Why is she doing this? I hate her. But I love her. It's very conflicting.
I love that so much. For those of you who don't know, I played basically the Dolores Umbridge of the BAU on Criminal Minds.
Who's Dolores Umbridge? She is.
Get out!
And that was Brianna's last convention.
It's a Harry Potter reference.
Come on! Do you know me? I mean, if not, you asked me to name the Real Housewives, I can't. But Harry Potter, I can't. That was the greatest thing about Rachel Miner is that she knew Dungeons and Dragons, Harry Potter. So if anybody asked me anything, I'd be like, "Ask Rachel." She knows what house I'm in. Yes. Anyway, back to Dolores.
Yes, no, we can go back to Linda Barnes. Linda Barnes managed to split up the BAU. Briefly, awfully, horribly. I hated that character. So this is a challenge, right? Because I have a lot of opinions about people who play bad guys on shows, but I very rarely get to play a bad guy. And so this was one of those opportunities where I believe nobody wakes up in the morning thinking, "Wah ha ha ha, I'm going to make things bad for people." They have justified in their hearts the actions that they take. Every person believes they're right and needs to do what they are doing. So that was the hardest I've ever acted in my life. The other thing I believe about bad guys is that there's a lot of face making and looking and that expends energy. If you are a human being expending energy to affect how another person sees you, then you're actually insecure. So I had to make a cut, and I'm look at me switching around like a little popcorn kernel in oil. So I had to make conscious choices to make this character still and believe what she was doing was right. And lo and fucking behold, it worked. So yeah, I will tell you, every single time they called cut, I apologized. I'm so sorry. They were so sweet. I had a conversation with Pat. I was like, should I pull it back? Should I not be? And they were like, no, bring it. Every single actor was like, bring it. As hard as you push, that's the bar we get to rise to. Be awful. And I was like, no. So yes, I apologized to them profusely because it was very hard to be mean to them. But I'm glad it worked.
I remember when you were You are very excited to be like the bad. Like, it's so, I don't know if you guys can understand, I hope that you do. Like, it is so fun to be gnarly bitch. Like, it is so fun to be kind of opposite. You are a big draw from things that are inside of you somewhere. You get to kind of act on them.
Yeah. It was awesome. It also came because of Supernatural. Did you know that?
That's right.
No. You didn't know that? Okay, so Adam Glass, who was the executive producer of Supernatural, had moved over to Criminal Minds Beyond Borders. There was an episode of Criminal Minds Beyond Borders that needed actors who could handle a chunk of dialogue. He brought in Jim Beaver and I to play these characters. The writer of that episode so enjoyed the work that I did that when Criminal Mind Beyond Borders went down and he went over to Criminal Minds, he kept talking to the executive producer. Over there we had a character who did this, maybe she could, maybe, and finally she went, "Do you just want to bring the character over?" And he said, "Yeah, that'd be fun." So everything good in my life came from Supernatural, is what I'm trying to say.
I feel like that's universal feeling. Hello.
Hi, my name is Rebecca. I'm super nervous. I love both of you all so much, and my favorite Supernatural episode is the female-led episode where you guys have to say things. I loved it so much. And my question is, if I could get some mom advice from both of you, because I lost my mom last year, and I am in major need of some mom advice.
Aww. What area of your life would you like advice about?
Basically everything.
You are perfect. So much more than perfect, the way you are. And everything that you are is so necessary and needed in this world. And the way you step into yourself is a gift to this world, and never, ever, ever, ever shrink yourself or make yourself smaller because you think that that's what the world wants, because the world wants the opposite of that. They want you to be big and full and everything that you are meant to be in this planet.
I don't have anything else to say, so hold on.
I'm coming too. I was gonna run down that and do that, and I was like, no, I wanted Kim to say her thing and make everybody cry. She's like, no, too late. Too late. Hello.
I love it when they talk at the same time.
This is my first convention. I've been waiting like 9 years to come to one of these. And my question is for both of you. If you could have built like your own Wayward Sisters episode or even series, what were the main plot lines that you would have been really excited to explore?
Well, we've said this before, but since you're all new, and we can say this now because we're no longer under contract. What are they gonna do, fucking fire us? So what happens when a pilot is pitched and then shot is that they have to also pitch what would have been the season arc, and they did share that with us. And there was a couple things that were really fun and exciting. But one of the things is that Donna was going to be turned into a vampire. Yes, I know! So that would
It's gonna be really awkward when she brings the pot roast over for family dinner.
Can you imagine just like, oh, it just would have been so, again, talking about like being a bad guy, it would have been so fun. So fun.
Yeah.
I remember when you got to play a demon.
Yes.
That was, and you were brilliant at it.
It was fun.
Oh God, so fun.
So you gave me a lot of options, which is hard to. So the only thing that I can pull out of it was I was really excited about the idea of in this world. I know that we're seeing this more and more, but representation really matters. It doesn't matter just for the people represented. Let me be clear. Representation is not a gift we're giving to people just. It matters for all of us because there are stories that have not been told to me because we are not seeing trans people represented. There are stories that have not been told to me because queer characters are not represented. So I just want to make it fucking clear that feminism benefits everybody. Representation benefits everybody. It's not like, you know, we're not knocking people off the pedestal to put other people up there. We're making more fucking pedestals. Excited at the idea of Wayward being an opportunity to do this and tell stories that hadn't been told before because they were told by characters that had never been represented before. So that's what I was looking forward to.
You can still write letters to the CW. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Feel free. We enjoy knowing they're still hearing about it every once in a while.
We love her. Kim and I get so we're diabolical. She'll send me, she'll go, well, we're still in the press. Because I think an article came out a couple months ago about why Wayward Sisters could still work. Just like, they won't let it die. I mean, you guys, you mean like, you know, the more press. But yeah, we love it. We love it. We're convinced, I'm convinced that somebody's going to go, okay, fine. That's what I say. So let's get on my nose. I am unattached. Hello, yes.
Hello, how are you?
Great.
I do have one question before I said that. I just want to say what I like your characters on the show is Jody's dynamic with Sam and Dean was kind of like the big sister that didn't fall for any of the BS. And I have sisters and I really relate to that. And about Donna, it's like you're an outsider who came into that world and you didn't run scream from it. You just lived into it. I thought that was so cool. You know, I think if I ran into that world, I'd probably run from it. I don't know.
Me too. Me too.
So my question is, when you both started, for both of you, did the writers give you an idea of the direction you're going to have your characters go? And if they did it deviate from that, or was it pretty much what they laid out for you?
Oh my God. Every single time they called and were like, are you available? I was like, you mean Kim Rhodes, right? First, you have the right number. Second, are you killing me this time? Nobody ever told me, and I didn't. It took me 7 years before I trusted that they would warn me before they killed me if they were going to kill me.
When I auditioned for the show, Donna was not even a guest role. It was such a teeny tiny part. It was what's called a principal role. So usually in for actors, it goes, I believe it goes like extra, featured extra, actor, principal, guest star, co-star. No,
guest stars above co-star. Above co-star and then guest star.
Guest star.
So co-star is like one scene, guest star is multiple scenes.
So this is guest star. So this is where I ended up being on the show. And I started as a principal, which is like just a couple steps above an extra. So basically I was just there to move, the character was written just to move extraneous information along in a scene. But the gold, I mean, there was lots of gold, right? It was a lightning in a bottle scenario for that episode. But the gold was Phil Secretia, who directed the episode. He came in during my wardrobe fitting, and he was my fairy godfather from the beginning. He came to the wardrobe fitting, and he was like, I can't believe we've never seen you audition for the show. Where have you been? He was so just like, oh my God, he felt so lucky. That's who you surround yourself with. You surround yourself with, personally and professionally, People who feel like they have been blessed from the fucking gods. Only these ones. Phil was like that for me, and it made me feel so safe and excited and confident in what I was doing in a very new, as I mentioned, scenario for me. But he came to the wardrobe fitting and he was like, what have you been doing, features? And I was like, no, like waitressing, pulling pork. Yeah, it's like pulling pork, I don't know. And he was very sweet about that, but he came to the wardrobe fitting and he was like, so we're gonna have you in the first scene that you're shooting, you're just giving this information to Sam and Dean, but Dean, the character of Dean, he was like, do you know the show? And I was like, no, I've never heard of it. And he was like, so Dean is like, he's a bit of an eater. And so it'd be funny if maybe the two of you were eating, I don't know, a donut or something. So that wasn't written into the script. He added that to me, and I was like, oh yeah, no problem. I'm always up for any kind of fucking gag. Anyway, so then that just, because Jensen thought it was so funny that I could do it so straight-faced, and then he took it as a challenge. Then it just went off from there. But yeah, and originally I was just there to push papers, as they say. So I feel very, very grateful, lucky, and proud that Donna became the figure that she did.
Hi.
So last time I was at one of these conventions was 5 years ago. I was 15 with no one and no hope. And I came to one of your panels and asked you guys, what now? What do I do? I am alone, and you told me, and this will forever be engraved in my brain, and I'm sorry for anyone that is a child here, but you said, fuck them, get out of there, you're not the problem, they are. That's exactly what I did. I got out of bed, and I'm actually here with a person who saved my life.
How are you? Where's your friend?
She's clear in the back. Like, she's a very small person.
No, you are ginormous.
They're wonderful.
Way to fucking show up! Yeah!
My question for you guys, other than, thank you so much for kicking me in my ass and getting me where I need to be. If you could go back and talk to your 15-year-old self, what would you say?
Right?
No, that's okay. That's my neurodivergent brain is actually going to be honest on this one because I always understand the question, but I'm going to give you the truth, which is, I really love me now. So every single ache was worth it. Every single fear was worth it. Every single lesson that was hard fought, and there were some fucking hard fought lessons, but they made me me. So I would just give her a hug and walk away, and she'd be like, what the fuck just happened? I don't know who that lady was.
Who's this crazy lady with the crimped hair?
Yeah.
That's so 80s.
Yeah, exactly. Although this is exactly what my hair looked like when I was a sophomore in high school, so it would be strange. But I understand your question, but to me, it says that I wish I were different, and I don't anymore. So I thank you for that opportunity to be able to share that.
I'm gonna absolutely piggyback on what Kim says, and I think a practice that I do, and I assume a lot of you who go to therapy also do the same thing, which is a practice of, it is important that we go back in our minds and in our souls and visit the younger versions of ourselves to go, I love you, you are held, you are safe. Because sometimes when we're experiencing hardships and we start to react in ways that are maybe inauthentic or out of our integrity, sometimes it's our younger selves wanting to be heard. And so my practice is then to go back and go, you're okay, and I love you, and I'm sorry you're experiencing this right now, but I got you. And I do that practice all the time over the last few years, and it's so important that we don't shame our younger selves, because as Kim was saying, our younger selves got us here. And even if you're not 100% at peace with who you are right now, you are here. You are here on this planet. You're your bones, your meat suit, your everything is fucking here, right? And you have to thank yourself every day for just showing up in your shoes as yourself. And you know who got you there is 15-year-old you, is 16-year-old you, is 15-year-old you who came to a convention and asked a hard question to a bunch of weird broads and took an answer to heart. Like, you did that. We didn't do that. You did that. And it's important that we always thank ourselves. We thank every single version of ourselves. That's the practice.
Hey, there's the answer too. Thank you. And then walk away. Yeah, that's it.
Did you ever get in trouble on set for like messing around, and if so, how often?
How often? I like that.
Good question.
Great question. Did we get in trouble? Oh, you know when I got in trouble once, like actual trouble? This will not surprise any of you. Was when we were supposed to be shooting, we were supposed to be on set, and guess where I was? Craft services. That's right, goddammit, with Clark Backo. Clark Backo, dear friend of mine, brilliant actress who is fucking on her way. Also, we would make jokes because she would line her jackets, her pants, her entire. She was always pocketing food. She could eat so much food.
She had a tapeworm. She had to have had a tapeworm.
I just love it. She was an eater, and so we were always in craft services, and when we were shooting on the ship. Do you guys remember that in the pilot? The ship was obviously not close to craft services. You have to take a shuttle to craft services. Yes, we did. We got in actual trouble that time. That wasn't like us farting around. That was us thinking it was time to eat, which it was not. But I don't think I ever got in actual trouble otherwise. I was too scared.
Yeah,
I was too scared.
Same.
I didn't want to, we were still guests in their house, you know? I didn't want to break anything. But when the boys started farting around, then I was like, oh, okay, it's fucking game on. As I did one episode, it was the episode with the dirty money. Sounds sexier than I mean it to, but you know what I mean. And we were it was like me, Jensen, Jared, and then Brendan Taylor, who played Doug number 2. And it was the end of the day. Jensen and Jared were just fucking around with me. When it was my coverage, they were like throwing things at me. Jensen was like, or Jared was rubbing his like foot up and down my leg while I was saying my lines. So then Phil saw the dailies and then texted me the next day. He was like, good job holding your own with those fuckers. They can't mess with me. It's like a fun challenge for them.
The only time, there were 2 times that I've had a talking to, because I am also terrified and have authority issues. Like I hate it, but I'm also terrified of it, which is probably why I hate it. Oh, life lesson. On The Sweet Life, both were Brian Stepanik's fault. I don't know if are you familiar with Sweet Life? Are you doing the revisit of Disney Channel? Great. Then the short version of this answer is twice I was laughing too hard and I kept messing up the shot, and they were complicated shots because there were a lot of people in there, and it would come to my line and I'd just be standing there going, he likes cake. So that, yes, I got in trouble for that. I also got in trouble because Dylan thought it was funny to move so that I was shadowing him. See, now you can't see me, right? So one of the things you do on a multicam is you make sure that if this tall person is me and I'm Dylan, that I don't like move into his light, because then I mess it up. So I would be acting and he would shift over like this. So then I would shift over and he would shift over and I would shift over, and they always yelled at me! And Dylan was always like, I know what you're doing! So yeah, I got in trouble for that too. For somebody else screwing around. It made me so happy. It made me like, can you imagine the intelligence and mischievousness and delight of a person that is like,
Yeah, you have to, man, those are smart kids, man.
I love them so much. Okay, yes, please.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Cindy, and this is my first con.
Whee!
And I'm here from Vegas, so.
Thank you for having us.
You're more than welcome. I want to thank you for two things. One, the role models that both of you have been, and the inspiration that you have been to everyone here in this audience. We thank you so much.
Thank you for bringing it out in us.
The second thing is kind of funny because I have never sworn all of my life. And I started,
Me either.
I started watching your cons for your panels, and now I'm starting to dream with cussing all the time. And so I'm in the process of allowing myself to cuss if I really feel like it.
Here's the thing. I don't think people should cuss. No, I mean that. I think people should not edit themselves. They are two different things. If those words don't fulfill something deep and primal and big and explosive, and instead they make you feel wrong and ashamed and judged, then don't fucking use them. I, on the other hand, really love it. So I am glad that it sounds like, because what the words you used were "let myself." And so to me it sounds like what you're doing is tapping into something that you told yourself didn't allow to exist, and discovering that all of you gets to exist. And I'm so proud of you. Thank you for giving that to the world.
I apologize because I'm going to have to make you think a little bit. For me, music has been a part of my life since as long as I can remember. And I have developed this thing of having an anthem or a song that I play every morning when I get up. And I was wondering, do either of you or both of you have a theme song that you live by?
I do have playlists, and I have like playlists for different moods. And I definitely, every morning, in our house we have what's called slow mornings, which I worked really hard to teach Valentina from a young age. And slow mornings means we all get up quite early. Usually, I mean, for us, it's like 6:30. Valentina doesn't have to go to school until 8:45. And so it is reading, it is lit candles, it is soft lighting, it is coffee percolating, and it is a little bit of gentle music. And that is it. That is how we have to start our mornings, because for me, my nervous system needs to warm up to the day. So that is kind of a thing that I start my day with now. If I'm getting revved up for an audition, depends what I'm auditioning for. If I'm getting revved up to go with the girls, it's a different kind of thing. But I'm the same way. I love music. We have it on at all times in our house. And it's more how the music makes me feel as opposed to what the music is. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm curious, would you like to share what your anthem is?
My anthem is a wonderful song by a woman named Kiala from The Greatest Showman that says, This is
me. Have you guys seen the video of the pitch? Yes. The video of the pitch where they were just pitching that to the producers and they all performed that song live, it is undeniable. It will change your life. It's breathtaking. Great anthem. Great anthem.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
Hey, what's up? My name is Steph Tripp. I'm from Vegas. I just want to say welcome back to Sin City.
Thank you. It smells here. No, I'm just kidding. It doesn't smell like
It smells like the 70s dump trip. All right, my question is, what is advice you guys might have for an aspiring actress?
Kim and I, in the past, have had different answers to this. Because my experience with acting is that I wanted to give up on it so many times, and then I didn't. And so my response usually is, just give it a second. But also I think my response now with that is, be open to your joys looking different than you thought they would. So when I was young, I think I wanted to be on Broadway. I wanted to be a Broadway actor. And then I got a little older and then I wanted to, I don't know, work in TV. And then I got a little older and then I was like, well, now I want to write for television. Now I want to produce and direct. And now I'm just like, you know what? I just want to do new things all the time that feel good. And I no longer put that directly into the box of acting. But if you wanted to be an actor, there are very technical things you could do, like I like doing like scene study classes, or I watch movies with the eye. I can no longer watch movies anymore without going, okay, so the camera is there, and then they do like the coverage on the other person, and then I watch continuity. Like I can't do it. That's just pure entertainment, enjoyment anymore. But I think watching with an eye like that can be helpful. There's lots of technical things you could do. But the hardest part about being an actor, in my experience, is getting work and not letting rejection become part of your identity. And so you really have to let go of acting being part of who you are, being your validation, because it is 99% rejection, right? But in my experience, you hang on, and you keep working, something will find you.
Okay, so really quickly, so basically you're saying get your feet wet into everything, right?
What?
Get your feet wet into everything. Try everything, see what's best.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. If you are here, my short version is, if you are happy now, and give yourself permission to be happy now, it will always be now, and then you will always be happy. So give yourself permission to be happy now. Don't attach it to the future.
You are welcome.
We did it! We did it! You know what we forgot to do?
Oh no, chairs!
Sorry, it's because we needed them. I'm getting much older. Now I'm like, no, I do need to sit down for my panels. I've broken my back a couple times since.
I get it.
That's true.
We have metal chairs.
I also like not as angry as I used to be. So
At the whole,
are these yours?
in general or in the seating industry? You know what I mean?
Yeah, in general, yes. I also, as Kim said, we need the chairs.
Well, good. Then it's reciprocal. Briana Buckmaster and Kim Rhodes. That was awesome. Stop it. Great day, everybody. I'm so proud of you. A lot of people thought you wouldn't make it to this, but I said no, they will. The question is, will you make it to karaoke? That's next. And after autographs, there's photographs, but then there's karaoke. So hang in there, fight the good fight. I expect to see all of you bright-eyed and bushy-tailed back here tomorrow. Have a great rest of your Friday. I'll see you tomorrow.